Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're on a bit of a high-speed mission.
Yeah, cutting through the noise.
Exactly. Getting straight to the core strategic thinking that's really driving decisions in enterprise networking and security right now.
And the source material we have is fantastic for this.
It really is. It's from a deep analysis of a major enterprise certification, the kind used to train thousands of solution architects, sales teams.
Right. And looking at what gets emphasized there, I mean, the weighting of topics, it's basically an instant roadmap. This isn't just theory. It's the actual list of value props, the pain points, the strategies that execs are focused on right now.
And for you, listen in, the goal is simple. This is your shortcut.
Yeah.
You'll get the 6 key areas defining modern infrastructure success. We're talking market context, customer objectives, all the way to winning strategies and, well, how stuff actually gets sold.
And that selling part, that's the bulk of it in the source material, isn't it?
Over half, yeah. So we'll spend a good chunk of time there, naturally.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
So, starting right at the top, what's the single biggest defining trend? The shift that's really changing the whole conversation in enterprise IT?
Oh, it's clearly the move to cloud-native management in operation. Definitely.
Cloud native. So not just using the cloud, but managing from the cloud.
Precisely. It's not niche anymore. It's pretty much a must-have. Customers, they want simplification. They know managing all these distributed networks, wired, wireless, WAN, from fragmented old-school consoles, that's done.
Obsolete.
Totally. They're demanding solutions that automate things, give them central control, and that control center. It has to be in the cloud.
And the immediate value, I guess, beyond just, getting shiny new hardware?
Right. It's not just about replacing 10-year-old Wi-Fi.
Yeah. The pitch shifts pretty quickly to integration, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what does unifying everything wired, wireless, WAN under one common operating model actually save the customer?
Time, which, means money. And probably sanity, too.
Yeah, I can imagine. Think about the old friction, right? Separate teams, separate tools for wired, for wireless, for the WAN. Every little policy change, every security update, troubleshooting. You're logging into 3, maybe more, different systems. The real value of a common model, something like Aruba Central, is you set the policy once. Done.
Yeah. Can we get specific on that, like the difference in actual admin effort?
Oh, it's huge. It's exponential. Imagine rolling out a QoS update across, say, 100 branches.
Okay.
With siloed tools. That could easily eat up hours of someone's time, maybe half a day even. Just manual clicks, checking scripts, fixing errors.
Right.
With a unified cloud-managed approach, you define the policy centrally, hit deploy, and the system just handles it, automates across every domain.
Yeah.
That kind of central control over distributed stuff, that's real operational leverage.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, this unified model, it underpins that whole edge-to-cloud architecture goal, right?
Exactly.
For someone listening, trying to get their head around that, why does that consistency matter so much now?
Well, because the network perimeter basically vanished years ago, didn't it?
True. Everyone's everywhere.
Right. Where the user physically is. It doesn't matter for the work they need to do. Edge to cloud means the way you operate, and crucially, the security policy. It's the same everywhere.
So office desktop, conference room laptop, some temporary device in the data center, same rules apply.
Identical rules, identical performance expectation, identical visibility. It gets rid of the blind spots, ensures things are predictable, and that's, well, fundamental for keeping the business running in this hybrid world.
Okay, that sets us up perfectly for Section 2 then, the security imperative. So shifting gears, when we talk to the CISO, the head of IT security, their goals aren't really about network speed, are they? It's all risk reduction.
Entirely.
So what's priority number 1 for security leaders, according to our sources?
What's fascinating here is just how clear it is. The absolute top priority is implementing a full zero-trust strategy.
Zero trust, so trust nothing by default.
Exactly. Forget the old idea of trusting anything just because it's inside the network. The mandate now is least privilege access. And maybe even more importantly, stopping unauthorized lateral movement.
So if one thing gets breached,
the network itself should stop the attacker from just hopping over to the next server, the next system. Verification is constant. That's the price of admission now.
Okay, zero trust sounds good conceptually, but the reality, networks are full of stuff IT never planned to manage, right? Like this explosion of IoT devices.
Ooh, absolutely. Security cameras, medical gear, smart building systems.
Huge blind spots. Because you can't put agents on them easily.
That's the critical challenge, exactly. You can't secure what you can't see, what you can't identify properly. If some unmanaged smart sensor on the factory floor gets compromised,
Yeah.
and you've just generically labeled it network device, it might get way too much access. So the foundation of a modern zero-trust security portfolio that can handle this, it's high-fidelity device profiling and classification.
Okay, let's break down high-fidelity profiling. What's that look like in practice? Why high fidelity?
Well, low fidelity just says, okay, that's a printer. High fidelity, which often uses things like deep packet inspection, behavioral analysis, it can tell you that's a Zebra ZT410 label printer, firmware 7.1.5. It's in warehouse B, and normally it only talks to the central print server.
Ah, much more specific.
Right, so if that printer suddenly tries to hit the CFO's email server, that's an immediate red flag, compromise.
Yeah.
And the network needs to shut that down automatically. That accuracy is critical. You just can't afford the risk of giving too much access to something you don't truly know.
That is powerful context. Okay, now let's layer in hybrid work. That's permanent now, right? Huge implications for the edge.
Definitely permanent.
Every employee connecting from a different home network, probably unmanaged. The overhead, the security worries must be massive.
They are. Hybrid work basically amplified every edge challenge by 10. The absolute critical challenge is ensuring a consistent, secure, and high-performance user experience for everyone, no matter where they log in from.
So IT needs to stretch that zero trust policy out to the home office.
Seamlessly. The same access rules, same security posture, without making users jump through, clunky VPN hoops or using slow, old remote access tools that just frustrate people and open up vulnerabilities. Consistency again.
Right. Okay, moving into section 3. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. Operational excellence through proactive AI.
Yeah, this is a big shift.
The sources draw a really sharp line between old school network monitoring and this modern AI advantage. So if traditional monitoring is all about looking at historical logs, what's the specific competitive edge AI gives you?
The edge is moving from fixing problems after someone complains to proactive problem prevention.
Ah, getting ahead of it.
Exactly. Traditional IT is always reactive, right?
Yeah.
They see a service dip because they're looking at logs from 15 minutes ago. Modern AI, using machine learning, spots subtle anomalies in real time. It predicts issues before they actually impact the user experience.
Can you give us a solid example of that predictive power?
Sure. So AI can analyze historical performance across hundreds of access points on a campus, let's say.
Okay.
It might notice one specific AP in Building C is starting to show these really subtle, not yet critical signs, maybe tiny increases in latency or odd client disconnects, but only at peak times. It hasn't failed yet.
A traditional system would just ignore that.
Pretty much. But the AI flags it. It sees the pattern, predicts potential hardware failure or maybe configuration drift, and gives you a prescriptive recommendation. It says, hey, check the power on AP34 in Building C, or maybe reroute clients, because it predicts a major problem there within, say, the next 48 hours.
Wow, so fixing it before the help desk phone even rings.
That's the goal. It saves enormous operational effort.
And this ties right into that silent killer of IT efficiency, alert fatigue.
Oh yeah, we've all seen it.
Those systems spitting out thousands of alerts an hour, mostly noise. Admins just start tuning it out.
And that takes a huge toll. The AI functionality, particularly in platforms like HPE Aruba Networking Central, it acts like an intelligent filter. It's not about no alerts. It's about using ML to aggregate, correlate, and prioritize actionable insights.
So instead of 100 alerts for one switch failure.
Right. If 100 users drop because one switch died, the AI doesn't spam you. It sends one specific insight. This switch failed. This is the impact. It focuses the team on solving the real problems, not drowning in data. It's operational intelligence that saves clicks and, frankly, mental energy.
Makes sense. Okay, let's shift to section 4. Competitive strategy, sales motions.
Right, the selling part.
Since most of our source material is about selling solutions, we need to talk strategy. SASE comes up constantly. Secure Access Service Edge.
Yes, SASE. It's all about convergence. The strategic advantage of offering a unified SASE solution. It just simplifies life for IT leaders dealing with branches and remote workers.
How so? What's the alternative?
Well, a lot of places are stuck managing, say, an SD-WAN from vendor A, a separate firewall as a service from vendor B, maybe a secure web gateway from vendor C.
Ugh, that sounds like a management nightmare, just keeping track.
It absolutely is. And the competitive advantage of unified SASE is beating that complexity. It bundles the networking, like SD-WAN, with the essential cloud security functions all in one cohesive platform.
One throat to choke, as they say.
Huh. Well, maybe kinder than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, one policy engine, one place for visibility, one contract. In a sales situation, you're not just selling faster pipes, you're selling the elimination of operational headaches and vendor sprawl. That consolidation is a really powerful differentiator.
Okay, so beyond the tech architecture, the financial architecture is changing too. We have to talk consumption models. Things like HPE GreenLake.
Yes, a very strategic element.
Traditionally, enterprise networking was all about huge, lumpy, upfront CapEx, right? Capital expenditure. How do these flexible models flip the script?
They totally changed the financial conversation by tying IT costs directly to actual business demand. The key feature is that flexibility. Need more capacity, scale up quickly, business slows down, scale down. And you're billed based on what you actually use.
Oh, no more guessing game. Trying to predict needs 5 years out and begging for a massive CapEx budget for boxes that might just sit there.
Exactly. It kills that massive upfront hurdle. Instead of IT waiting potentially a year for budget approval for some big project tied to a new business plan, they can treat infrastructure more like a utility.
Moving from CapEx, unpredictable CapEx, to more predictable OpEx, operational expenditures.
Precisely. And that switch from the CFO signing off on fixed assets to the CIO managing a predictable, usage-based OpEx, it massively boosts business agility.
How so?
Well, if the business says we need to spin up a new temporary site in 3 weeks, IT isn't blocked by months of procurement and budget cycles. They can provision the needed infrastructure almost instantly using the consumption model, since it removes a major roadblock. When IT planning shifts away from those big fixed CapEx cycles towards flexible usage-based OpEx, IT gains enormous fluidity, right?
Yeah, agility.
If the budget doesn't need locking down 3 years ahead for capacity you might need next quarter, how does that newfound flexibility fundamentally change how IT departments plan? How they assess risk, how they approach future network expansion? What does that OpEx shift really do to the dynamics inside the organization, especially between IT and finance?
That's a really interesting question. How does that flexibility ripple outwards?
Exactly. Something to mull over as you figure out your own strategy in this fast-moving world.
A great question indeed. And that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.